All right, this is a quick thought here. This is a quick thought and observation on the energy we deal with in semen retention. Because I find that the stages and the way we amplify our aura in semen retention, there's almost levels to that shit. There's levels to your confidence, there's levels to what you're going to attract, and there's different forms of yourself that you're going to deal with that you haven't dealt with before. And in relation to something like Dragon Ball Z, I'm always thinking about Dragon Ball because Dragon Ball is the perfect demonstration of what your own energy can do to you if you harness it, if you use the mind to harness your energy, okay? Think about Goku before he was Super Saiyan. He went Kaioken. Kaioken was an awesome, much needed form at the time, but it had its limitations. Kaioken is almost, especially Kaioken 2, it's almost self-destructive, okay? You go into this mode, your body pumps up, you're full of energy, rage, but it's not controlled. It's not a controlled substance, you know what I mean? So it's all body and it's not mind because you don't have the mind control. And eventually, taking too long in this form depletes your own body and it makes you crash out. You deplete yourself, you lose all your energy. So that's to say something like when you're on semen retention and you reach this high form of energy, high form of testosterone, and you don't have the mind or emotional control for it yet, your own energy, your own rage, your own anger can burn you out. Your own fire inside that you feel as a man. If you have too much sexual aggression, if you have too much anger, if you're naturally pessimistic, if you're always stressed, if you're always depressed, full of anxiety, if you still have these emotions inside while you're on semen retention, you amplify these emotions as well. And if you can't control and regulate that shit, it's going to make you crash out. It's going to make you crash out. You'll have your aura from semen retention around you. But at the same time, these negative emotions create holes in your aura, much like drinking does or smoking weed does, or energy leakage. If you're fapping too much, you create holes in your aura and that allows this energy to seep out. Eventually, like a balloon losing air, you will deplete yourself at some point. You need to realize that even if you're practicing semen retention, there are other forms of, let's say, spiritual ejaculation or spiritual leakage. You're still gonna leak out a bunch of energy. I was just reading this book and he was saying once you practice energy retention, if you're doing things like, say you have a pen in your hand and you're clicking the pen, or you're on a desk and you're tapping, you're very, very fidgety. The energy of fidgeting itself is a form of you not being able to contain your energy. Your energy is dispersing somewhere because you can't control it. Also, thinking about Dragon Ball Z, let's talk about Super Saiyan 3. I just looked it up here. Yes, Goku had a severe time limit on Super Saiyan 3 during the Buu saga. The form's massive energy drain significantly reduced his 24-hour return to life on Earth, essentially making it a dead man's technique. A crazy amount of energy that he harnessed into his aura, and it put him in another golden state. But at the same time he's in that golden state, it's draining his life. It's making him dead. This is like fapping. This is like edging, like severe edging. Think about that shit. If you're edging, yeah, you are building up your semen energy. You are building up your aura in a certain way. But at the same time, if you can't control that edging, you're going to reach points of energy leakage. You're going to reach points of sexual frustration if you build it up in the wrong way and you don't learn how to circulate it. Edging is a dead man's technique. So you have to learn in each form of your semen retention journey how to circulate the new energy because it rises, right? First, when you first start semen retention, if you're completely depleted, if you're completely out of energy, the first couple weeks, you're just filling up your balls, all right? You're literally just filling up your balls. Eventually, it's going to rise up. It's going to go into your kidneys. It's going to strengthen your kidneys, your abdominal wall. Eventually, it'll rise up. It's going to strengthen your spleen, your stomach, your heart, your lungs, and it's going to branch out into your arms. You're going to feel that your arms are harder and harder. And eventually, it's going to rise up and it's going to go into your mind. And if you can't control your mind and your anger and your thoughts and all these energies, just looking at someone the wrong way, if you're grilling someone, that's the energy disperse. If you're thinking an extremely negative thought, boom, that's the energy disperse. If you got really angry yesterday, you're putting holes in your aura, energy disperse. You need to learn to sit and meditate with all these new forms of yourself, with all this new energy, and circulate it and regulate it and work with it, because this energy can overtake you and it can actually destroy you, because your own internal pressure that you build up from semen retention is very strong. And if you can't fortify your body and your aura under new pressure, that pipe's gonna burst, all right? And I'm not talking about your pipe down there. I'm just talking about your pipeline, your vessel. It's gonna burst in some way. So I think there's a very, very important lesson in something like Dragon Ball, and the way they demonstrate all these new energy forms and how they can be sustained and how they can be controlled and how they destroy your own body at times. Energy cultivation is a beautiful thing, but if you don't have the mindset for it and you don't have the willpower to control all these new forms will control you. Say you practice semen retention and you're coming from a light of like, oh, I'm just gonna repress my sexuality. I'm just gonna repress it. Like, I dealt with some bad girls and now I want to cut off all women and just suppress my energy. So if you suppress all your sexual urges and you tuck it down deep, eventually the guys who relapse really hard, they tend to binge watch porn videos for like 7 days straight and completely deplete themselves. So I'm saying, like, yes, you can push down all your sexual energy in a little ball, but do you know what to do with it afterwards? What are you doing with it? Because if you're just like, oh, I'm having sex with this girl and that girl, and then all of a sudden, no, I can't have sex. It's wrong, and I'm tucking all that energy away, that energy is going to come back up to haunt you in some way. It might come in the form of your dreams. It might come in the form of women trying to get you more. It might come in the form of your restlessness. You can't sleep. You're agitated. You're angry. Now you don't want to be around anyone. Think about these things. You need to learn to harness and channel the energies from all of your forms. Maybe work out more. Maybe take up new hobbies that will disperse your energy a little more. Like for me, when I stopped watching porn videos, I had to get more creative. I had to work out more. I had to read more. I had to study more. I also stopped smoking weed. I stopped drinking. When you let go of all these vices, you need new healthy habits to replace them so you can get used to your new energy forms, so you can create new forms. You can manifest new forms of yourself. The practice of semen retention and sexual energy cultivation is very, very powerful. It's very powerful. And naturally, when you're doing these practices, old ways of you, old negative ways, because it's such a positive practice, your old negative ways tend to strip away, and you have to consciously choose new and healthy habits to help you cultivate this new form. So for example, maybe you need to pick up an instrument, play drums, play guitar. Maybe you need to work out more. Maybe you need to add an extra walk or a jog to your day, buy some books, study a new hobby, make new friends, new healthy friends, start a new business, do things to funnel your new energy to create the man you're going to become moving forward. It's like Super Saiyan 3 and Kaioken. Like eventually down the line, Goku learns different ways of handling these energies, sustaining these energies for longer periods of time. It's like the first time you went Super Saiyan, it was so out of control, And then when he showed up on Earth, when Trunks came, he had such a relaxed form of Super Saiyan. He learned to relax in the energy of it. And that's what you need to do. Yes, sexual energy, sexual tension is very strong. You're going to have those cravings. You're going to have those urges, but you need to learn to relax in it. And I find a good way to do that. Sometimes you need to fast. You need to practice fasting, because when you're really, really hungry, instead of acting on going through your cupboards, going through the fridge, looking for the next food source, you learn to relax in your hunger. So when you learn to deal with that primordial energy of hunger and the need to hunt and move, when you learn to relax in that, you can also learn to relax in the primordial energy of craving sex, craving women. You know what I mean? So yes, men, I urge you, when you are dealing with these new energies, learn to relax, learn to calm the mind, learn to channel and harness these energies and put them into healthy sources to help you grow, all right? Peace, love, knowledge, and protection to you and yours. Kamehameha, get the fuck out of here. This is the Cowboy from Temple Alchemy, and I'm out.